Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Phoenix Suns destroyed, beat up, wiped away with, just erased the Dallas Mavericks, 110 to 83 or something like that. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact score in my head right now. This was as bad as the first playoff game that I had to sit through. Um, it's almost like just copy and paste. You know, you could listen to my last video about the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers and just replaced the names. You pretty much got the same exact result. The reality of the Phoenix Dallas game was this: Dallas had 8 assists as a team. The problem that I saw in that at the halftime video, I was telling you guys that I saw Luka Doncic not really making the greatest, having the greatest floor game, kind of jacking up shots, looking for his own thing, and that's about it. Um, as I said, I felt like he wasn't looking for others, or kind of passing off guys in a way to make it so that he could get shots rather than, uh, you know, you know. If you listen to my video, you understand that I didn't like Luka's game tonight. They came out of that third quarter and got blitzed by the Suns. Suns hit them with a 17-0 run in that third quarter, ran the score up crazy, and they kept doing the same things that I said they shouldn't be doing. It's like you have to try to find ways of getting more out of others. Davis Bertans was 3 of 4. He got all of those points in the first half. Why wasn't he continuing to shoot in the second half? Spencer Dinwiddie never did get off the ground. Um, you know, Jalen Brunson was attacking just like Luka, but he, like Luka, ain't looking for nobody else. They both had 2 assists on the night, but they're the only ones shooting. How does that work? And then you look at the decision that Coach Kidd made, removing, Dwight Powell from the situation. Look, I'm all for removing Dwight Powell uh, in certain situations, depending on what's going on. But when you make adjustments like that, they can't be independent of the adjustment made against you. Like, you have your mind made up. Okay, we're removing this guy from the game. Got it, because that's what we're doing. But the opponent has now inserted a fresh big in Biombo. At the same time, you're removing your big from the floor. You see what I'm saying? So the dynamic that you were adjusting to is no longer in play. You got to adjust out of that. You got to say, okay, now Biombo's a part of what it is that they're doing, so I got to get Dwight back in this situation so we don't get killed on the boards, because I've been adjusted too. The adjustment I've made is now something that needs to be adjusted out of. And so Jason Kidd didn't make the move. He did not adjust out of what he was doing, and the team struggled on the boards. They got killed on the offensive glass. They turned the ball over 18 times, and a lot of those points came off those turnovers. You let the other team get 24 points off your 18 turnovers, you're going to lose. And then you're losing on the boards. You shoot poorly from behind the arc. You only hit 8 threes on the night, but you jack up like 30-something up. You shoot under 40% from the field. You shoot under 70% from the free throw line. I mean, where's the good? Where's the good? And then all the stuff that y'all were doing defensively, you took like 8 and 9 steps backwards defensively because of the fact that you removed Dwight Powell from the game. You left Dwight Powell on the bench and left yourself no size to recover against Biombo. So that was what happened. And of course, Devin Booker didn't help because he was scoring like crazy. You got a good game out of Landry Shamet, of whom he had fresh legs because he ain't been playing either. So it's just a lot of different things. Like, that's the problem that I have with some coaches. They just are so married to whatever their game plan is, or they don't know how to adjust out of their game plan once they've set it in place. And you got to be able to quickly move out. Teams that win have to adjust to things on the fly. You got to have a plan. You got to have a plan B. You got to have a plan C. And then you got to have audibles, just like in football. So, I see something. Okay, we got to get out of that quick. If you don't have all that in place, you ain't going to be winning no championship in this league. And so it's just a lot. It's like versatility is key, man. Versatility with your roster, versatility with your lineup, and versatility with your coach's ability to do what he needs to do. And you just saw Jason Kidd's limitation tonight. And I've been saying this for the last couple of days. Role players, often don't play well on the road. But I'm finding that's also a thing with coaches too. They don't coach well on the road. Good, crisp rotations, certain types of plays that you run, stuff like that. These coaches really do these things better when the crowd is behind them. Seriously, it's like that's a real thing, and I don't think I've ever paid attention to it till I've started watching these playoffs this year. It's like, wow, these coaches, you see the same coach strategize so perfectly in his own building, get on the road and can't seem to remember who played well in the last game, can't seem to figure out who's got the hot hand tonight. It's just like, golly, man. I saw a lot of that tonight with both the Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Mavericks. They just did not carry their game on the road. Their benches played bad. In this game, the stars appeared selfish. I'm just going to call it like it is. I didn't like Luka's game tonight at all. I thought he played well in game, I think it was 3, where I said I really liked how he was looking for everybody. It was opposite of that tonight. I didn't like anything he was doing out there, honestly. His defense wasn't where it needed to be. He was hitting his shots. He was attempting a lot of shots, as he always does, but to what success? Everybody else around you cold, not attempting shots in some cases, working hard on defense but not getting rewarded offensively because you want to come down, jack up a shot. I mean, it was just a lot of bad hero ball by Luka, and that's what it was. It started and ended with him, man. If he would have played a better game, I think the team around him would ultimately look better on the road. If your star ain't got it together in a pivotal game 5 on the road, you ain't gonna be able to follow suit properly and or lead the charge, rather, if you're a role player. I needed more out of Dorian Finney-Smith tonight. He didn't shoot enough. Coming off a game where he was 8 for 12, they should have been featuring him all night long. Like I said, Davis Bertans got off hot. He's been hot for 2 games straight. Where has he been in the fourth quarter? They got to let him shine a little bit, get him out there, But, I don't know, man. You look at this situation and you say, Ayton had a really good game tonight. He was eating, getting boards, as always. The problem that you have to begin with, if you're Dallas, is the fact that you really don't have an answer for him. It's only because Monty Williams hasn't utilized him more so that you're even involved in the series, if you ask me. Because if Ayton was averaging 28 and 15, this series would have been over, in my humble opinion. But they're preferring to shoot jumpers. They're preferring to try their hand from behind the arc. It worked tonight. That was the thing. They were finally able to win the 3-point arc battle with this Dallas Mavericks team, and I do not think that's something that would happen very often. You also got to look at the Suns and say they just sustained a couple of injuries. Jay Crowder went down with a shoulder. That was a thing, and if I'm not mistaken, there was someone else who got hurt too. Oh, on the Dallas side of things, Reggie Bullock is dealing with a knee, so that's something you got to deal with. He was also 0 for 5 tonight. You definitely needed him to at least hit a shot, at least one, but that was a no-go. So Frank Ntilikina has now been put into this mix. He's been out with tonsillitis, from what I understand, for pretty much the whole playoffs. So now they're working him into the equation. I've liked what I've seen from him. He finished well, plays defense. We know that. So it's still a young player with some upside, and I think he could be a nice lockdown someday from the guard spot. I think inserting him into this series has not been a bad thing, but it is something to account for, given the fact that you considered Spencer Dinwiddie getting even less usage because of it. It's just, these are the things that Jason Kidd probably would be wise to not ignore. Spencer Dinwiddie is struggling, yes, but he's not struggling necessarily because he's forgotten how to play. He's struggling because your system doesn't allow him to maneuver at all. And I just think there should be time cut out for that. If you dedicated an entire sequence of time, maybe in your second quarter, from minute 5 to the end of the quarter, to just let him cook. Let him cook. Pretend Luka Doncic is in foul trouble. All he gonna do is jack up shots any damn way. Let him cook and get him going. If he finds his comfort level and his niche on this team, he will be able to carry some of the scoring load when Luka's not on the floor. He'll be able to find his rhythm with Luka on the floor easier because he's had more shots to do so. It's hard for Spencer to get going if he never has the ball. He's not an off-ball player, and you guys ain't getting nothing out of him. And I do think it's contributing to why you look so poor tonight. It is what it is. You got a player that good who's doing nothing. That's just, you can't afford that. So that's a big deal for Dallas. They need to figure that out and fast. So yeah, I don't think Dallas is going to shoot poorly from behind the arc at home. Obviously, they hit 20 of them in the last game. Hit only a few tonight. So that's not going to happen too often. I do think the Jay Crowder injury is going to affect them defensively. Phoenix defensively big time on the road. So I'm thinking this series may actually go 7. Even though Dallas got blown out tonight, I don't think it was necessarily something that they couldn't have made look better. It was the schematics of things. The way they set this up was bad from the jump. They didn't have a good game plan, to be honest with you. And Phoenix did. Simple as that. Putting Biyombo on the floor gave them that edge on the glass. Hitting those threes, giving themselves an opportunity to actually have a little more space on the floor, getting more out of more players. That's what you want to see from Phoenix. You don't know why they couldn't do that in Dallas, you know? You just don't know why these teams have such difficulty carrying their games on the road. So I don't know. I don't think any real edge is being found across these playoffs in the second round. I think all these teams are flawed. I think they're all dealing with injury issues. I think my 2001 Lakers would blow all of them out. It's just the truth. I think we got a nice level playing field here with these teams, and they all equally annoy me in their own way. Like all of these teams have their ways about them, and any of them can be beat at any given night. That's what I've learned. There is no clear-cut great team left. They all have real problems. The Dallas Mavericks, though, their problems are fixable. You get Dwight Powell back out there. you abandon whatever the heck this was you tried tonight. You get back to what was working. Dwight Powell is not the greatest defender. I don't think he can stop Ayton, but they weren't using Ayton like that anyway. So you need to put him back out there and let him do what he was doing. Because he helps you defensively, he helps you with 50-50 balls, and people are not getting offensive rebounds over him like that. Hell no. Biyombo, you gotta meet him with a size advantage. Oh, that was the other person who got hurt. JaVale McGee dealt with some type of leg injury earlier in this game today. He did not return. That's why Biyombo got so many minutes. So keep an eye open. If JaVale's not going to play, that's more minutes for Biyombo. That will affect the glass for sure. All in all, Chris Paul played a good game. You know, he only had 7 points, but you appreciate the fact that he didn't jack up a bunch of shots in response to his last 2 games being so bad. He came out there looking to make plays for others. Ayton, Booker, Bridges, they all ate. They all played well for him. You know, got to give Bridges credit. Keep an eye open for him, though. The Iron Man of the league did suffer some type of knee discomfort in this game. And that's not something you want to see from somebody that never misses any games. But he played a good game all in all. Defensively, did what he needed to do. Offensively, got involved, which is something we've been asking him to do. And that's what you want from him. He takes on such a load defensively, so you know he's not going to be trying to score 30 and 40 points. But you can't have him going for 4 points. You can't have him attempting only 3 shots or something like that. Nah, he needs to be involved. And you saw that tonight. So Cam Johnson got it going tonight. You like that. They bench campaign, and you know I don't feel bad. I hate to say it, campaign. I'm a believer in you. I've been screaming your name all year long as somebody that I trust to hold things down when Devin Booker or Chris Paul isn't there. But to be honest with you, these playoffs, you ain't done nothing for your team at all. And I think they would be wise to just move on. And they did, and they won by a lot. And it's probably not a coincidence. At the end of the day, you just got to keep looking for players on your bench. You can't keep going with guys that ain't doing nothing. Keep giving people chances to keep disappointing you. I can't do it. You show me you 1 for 5 for 3 straight games, I'm going somewhere else. And that's exactly what Monty did, and I think he was right for it. Aaron Holiday got some more minutes tonight. Landry Shamet got more minutes tonight. And they did good things with them. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself to players just because you're used to using them or whatever. I think that's a mistake that a lot of coaches do. You got to play that dude. Sit him down. Try them another person that could do something for you. Try another millionaire that you're playing. You know, everybody's a pro. This is the playoffs. If somebody ain't showing up, maybe somebody else will. Simple as that. Phoenix used their bench, and they blew Dallas all the way out because of it. And amongst other things too, because Dallas played right into their hands in just about every way possible. Just about every single way possible. Bad floor game, bad defense, bad rebounding, bad shooting from all 3 levels. Just like Philadelphia, this was the worst night of playoff basketball in years. Years. You ain't going to find 2 worse games. These were blowouts. 2 teams that did not show up to play. 2 teams that played tentative, soft in some cases. I didn't get the mail it in vibe from either of those teams, but I did get the I don't know what we're doing and we're not ready for this road game vibe from this team. We kind of just, we'll try our chances at home in Game 6 type of vibes. And I just don't think that's going to be enough to get you out this series. I think both of these teams are at risk of going home in Game 6 because of it. You can't just mail in a basketball game like that. It's a pivotal Game 5. The team that wants it the most is probably going to be the team that wins the series. And according to the numbers, 82% of the time, I think it was. I think it's 82% of the time, team to win Game 5 wins the series. And I expect that to be the case here. Especially in the way that these teams came out in Game 5. If you don't want it, just give it away. That's how I feel, man. Wasting everybody's time, got us watching these 2 teams. These 4 teams that, that quite honestly, hey, I could have gave 8 hours of my life to something else. Honestly, the NBA needs to tighten up on 2 things. 1, making sure that each and every team is equipped with professionals that can actually contribute both home and on the road. The NBA I want to see 10 years from now ain't got no players that ain't going to be able to take their game on the road. If you can't take your game on the road, you don't deserve to be paid the money that dudes who do make. I'm sorry. I'm done with the scrub NBA. I don't want no more scrubs in my league, man. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm being dead honest with you as a fan. I think there's too much good basketball being played all over the world with unsigned talent. Guys who are great. To be watching dudes that are not that good be in big stages doing absolutely nothing. That's just, I've felt that way my entire life, and I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not a good basketball player myself, so I would fall in places of scrub, but I'm not trying to do this for a living either. There are some really good basketball players that are not being discovered, and it's because they don't have representation, because they don't know the right people, because they haven't been discovered for whatever reason. The NBA needs to find these people and bring them to their league and get rid of these people who are not as good at the sport as they need to be. I'm just going to be the bad guy and say that. With that being said, I appreciate NBA basketball. It sucked not having it during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what we have, but I do not want to watch too many more nights like this. No. 2 blowouts? No. Not for your Game 5 semifinals. Not a good product. And the other thing I want the NBA to work on, of course, is the officiating replay debacle. I think it's been a failure. I think everybody agrees. It takes a lot away from the game. It kills momentum. It takes away from the pace. And the stop and go thing doesn't work. You're going to bring about more injuries doing that. And, of course, last but not least, the obvious elephant in the room in regards to that, they don't really review everything. And they don't change stuff that they actually see sometimes. And a lot of stuff that they overturn is stuff that we see with our own eyes is bullcrap. So, if you're going to waste all of our time sitting there looking at their backs as they look at monitors, at least get it right. All right, so that's what I got to say. That is my complaint in regards to these bad blowout playoff games of these 2 teams that I am not a fan of, man. I'm a Laker fan. We suck even worse than all you guys, so Maybe that's where my salt's coming from. But I just want to see good playoff basketball. I didn't get that tonight, man. I did not. I did not. What I got was just teams that were not prepared for teams that were. Simple as that. You got to give credit to the Phoenix Suns in this particular matchup for playing well across the board, stifling the other team with defense, getting out in the fast break, making things happen for themselves, hitting their threes for a change, and just playing well at home, as expected, as everybody seems to. So we'll get back to you on Game 6. For hopefully everything will be a bit more entertaining for everybody. Hopefully we can see some of these series get to a Game 7, keep these playoffs going. But as far as I can tell, I don't have any faith of that in these particular situations. No, not at all. Especially with the injuries that are starting to pile up for these teams. But with that being said, Dallas plays well at home. Jay Crowder will be missing, and I got a feeling Jason Kidd is going to switch some things around. And we'll see if Monty Williams' coaching translates to him being able to get it done on the road. Who's willing to close teams out? Who's ready? Who's really strong enough to do it? Looking at these teams, I don't know. So that's what I got, man. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.